Yo, what's going on, guys? And we're back with my third year of what to expect from the Boston Celtics in the 2022 to 2023 season. This is my season preview and my season prediction right here. As you guys know, Ime Udoka and all that stuff is going on with Joe Mazzulla being the head coach. I've made the joke that Brad Stevens was going to pull Greg Popovich and insert himself as head coach midway through the season, but he has said that is not going to happen. And Wyke Grossbeck, hopefully I said the co-owner's name correctly, has said they had a short discussion about it, and that's not going to happen, even though Brad Stevens tried acting like that discussion never happened. Now, we're going to go through the entire roster. I'm going to tell you my projected lineups. Who do I think is going to make the roster? Who do I think will get cut? All of that good stuff. I want to hear your opinions right now. We just hit 8,000 on the way to 10,000. Like and subscribe. It's free. 5 videos a day, at least 150 a month. Now, what I am going to say is I want to hear your opinions. What do you think this team? I think this team at the very least is a top 5 seed. Okay, they're not going to be anything lower than the 5th seed. I don't have any concerns about this team. Look, they're hungry. They're hungry. So let's get right in the video. Let's talk about it. So the current roster is Malcolm Brogdon, Jaylen Brown, J.D. Davison on a two-way, Danilo Gallinari out for the season with a torn ACL, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Justin Jackson, Mfiondu Kabengele, Luke Cornett, Jake Layman, Peyton Pritchard, Luka Shamincha, hopefully I said that correctly, former first-round pick in 2019 by the San Antonio Spurs, Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, Broderick Thomas, Denzel Valentine, Noah Vonleh, Derek White, Grant Williams, and Robert Williams III. They recently waived Bruno Caboclo, and J.D. Davison and Mfiondu Kabengele are on two-way, so they are safe. Okay, and the guys that, if you're wondering, who are battling for roster spots in this year's, roster: Noah Vonleh, Denzel Valentine, Luka Shamincha, Jake Layman, and Justin Jackson. We interviewed Justin Trombino, former writer of Fansided for the Boston Celtics. Now he writes for another Boston Celtics website, and he said the two guys he has as his favorites making the roster are either Noah Vonleh or Justin Jackson out of the camp invites. And he says it's really whoever shoots better, or if not, Noah Vonleh shows he can guard multiple positions and be a good rebounder with some floor spacing ability. His best bet, he said, was Noah Vonleh, but he says he would not be surprised if Justin Jackson shoots lights out and makes the team. We'll talk about everybody, but right now I want to talk about my starting lineup, which I believe is the same as last year. To start the year, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. When fully healthy, Robert Williams, Al Horford, but I could see now with this injury, they move Tatum to the power forward spot, Al Horford at center, they run Jaylen Brown at small forward, and they potentially run either... I think they want to run Brogdon as the sixth man, so we're going to go with the idea of Brogdon as the sixth man, and they either go Marcus Smart and Derek White, or they go Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Grant Williams, and then Al Horford, which I think that's the more likely lineup. Let me tell me down below, what do you think is more likely? I think regardless, Brogdon will be off the bench, but do you think they'd rather have Smart, Brown, Tatum, Grant Williams, and Al Horford, or would they rather have Al Horford, Tatum, Brown, Derek White, Marcus Smart on the starting lineup? Let me hear your thoughts down below on that one. But with that being said, obviously Robert Williams is in the rotation, and he's gonna miss he won't come back till November, December, depending on how he responds to the injury. But we do believe that the starting lineup, will contain Robert Williams when healthy. So we're gonna include Robert Williams in the rotation when we talk about theoretically. And then we'll talk about what the starting lineup for the start of the season would be. So Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Robert Williams, Al Horford. Then off the first three guys off the bench, I could see being Brogdon, White, and Grant Williams. Okay, that's your 8-man rotation when fully healthy. Okay, behind that, I think the 9th guy is Peyton Pritchard, with the 10th guy being... I think that's where it gets interesting when fully healthy, who the 10th guy off the bench is going to be. Because like I just said, Smart, Brown, Tatum, Robert Williams, Al Horford, when fully healthy, that's your 5. Okay, Grant Williams, Brogdon, Derek White are your first 3 off the bench. That's your 8-man rotation. Peyton Pritchard right there at 9. And that's where you start to look at the rest of the roster, which is Mfiondu Kabengele, Justin Jackson, Sam Hauser, Denzel Valentine, Luka Shamincha, Noah Vonleh, Jake Layman. Hopefully I'm saying Luka's name correctly. And with their current roster, they have, excluding the two-way guys, okay, I think 6, There you have 9 and 13. Okay, 13 guys on the roster. So technically they could bring 2 guys in, but supposedly they are only going to bring 1 guy because they want to leave a roster spot open to sign someone mid-season. And Danilo Gallinari would have made a 10-man rotation. So I could see, because I don't think Luke Cornett, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser, the 2 guys, or my Fondu Kabengele or JD Davison, I don't expect those 4 guys to make it. I could even see them cutting Luke Cornett if one of the camp invites beats, looks better. So we have the 9-man rotation with Brogdon, White, Pritchard, and Grant Williams being the 4 guys off the bench. They just need a 10th guy, which arguably either a backup center. That's why Noah Vonleh is, favorited to make the team, because they need a backup center not named Luke Cornett. And I completely understand, wanting to figure that out, because I've never been a huge Luke Cornett fan, but I know Justin Trombino was a fan of his. So it does bring up an interesting situation. And, look, I personally think when you look at this, if they do take 2 guys, I go to the University of Kansas, as you guys know, but I almost went to the University of Maryland. I'm from Maryland, and I used to watch a lot of Maryland basketball. Melo Trimble, Diamond Stone, Jake Layman, those were the years. And Jake Layman was a guy that definitely, it felt like, I thought he could be like the next Chandler Parsons. Like good Chandler Parsons, like Dallas Mavericks Chandler Parsons, Houston Rockets Chandler Parsons, but he just ended up pulling a Chandler Parsons and stealing money from the Minnesota Timberwolves. So I could really see Justin Jackson. He shot lights out in previous appearances in G League, and I think in the Summer League as well. Lucas Shamincha, he showed up for that one game in the Winchester Knicks, so he's another guy keep your eye out for. But if I had to put my money right now, I could even see them cutting Luke Cornett, giving my Fondu Kabengele or keeping my Fondu Kabengele on 2A, maybe giving Noah Vonleh Luke Cornett's spot, because they do need some rim protection. And I'm not acting like Noah Vonleh is going to shock the world, but Noah Vonleh is a guy that people forget, lottery pick, okay, in 2014 with the 9th pick of the draft. And he was a guy, yes, he never became the shot blocker, never became the defender that we were expecting him to become when he first came into the NBA. But he spent last year with the Shanghai Sharks, where he was averaging, basically 2 blocks and 2 steals a game on 10 rebounds and 15 points, which honestly, he wasn't scoring as dominant as you would have thought. But, in college at Indiana, he was a guy who averaged, 2 blocks almost a game and a steal. And I know that, and even in the G League, he's been a guy who's averaged a block a game. But hopefully it works out. He figures this out. And I want to hear your guys' thoughts. So like this, I think the lineup, personally, I think they're going to go with is Grant Williams, Al Horford, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Marcus Smart with Brogdon, probably Brogdon, White, and Peyton Pritchard, first 3 guys off the bench. And by doing that lineup, the only problem becomes is, okay, you have an 8-man rotation, but you guys got to find, and I know Carmelo is not there, so I really think right here is, and I know, correct me if I'm wrong, is Broderick Thomas is here, but I don't think Broderick Thomas is actually going to be on the team, okay? And I think, look, I think it's interesting as all hell, okay, when you look at the current situation. Because I do like this team. Don't get me wrong. I do think this is a team that it's interesting. And Broderick Thomas is on the training camp roster, but I just don't I don't see him. And they waived, Bruno, so I wonder if they'll go out, and I think my Fondu Kabengele and Noah Vonleh and Justin Jackson are the 3 guys I'm putting my money on if I had to. But yeah, that's basically it from us today. I hope you guys do enjoy today's episode of, Boston Celtics. We got 3 more. Go check them out. Links in the description. I do very much appreciate all the support from all you guys. And yeah, that's basically it for me today. Go check out the other 3, which will be the Brooklyn Nets, the Charlotte Hornets, and Chicago Bulls. So go check out those. They're a good time. And yeah. Goodbye. Have a great one. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. I'm so happy we figured this out. So I also have an NBA show, okay? And you guys definitely should be checking that out. I do it with my boy Jackson Alstro. His cousins Justin and Jake, which I went, partied in high school, even though